Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and most merciful, there is no beautiful sentence to speak except thanks to our God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us some mercies and blessings so we can attain and gather this place with good condition and happy situation. Secondly, my peace and salvation always delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has gathered us from darkness to brightness, from stupidity to cleverness, from jail era to Islam era, the namely Islamic religion that will. Your Excellency, Miss Desi, as our lecturer in the subject, especially in reading from Comprehension, and me as a present tutor, Mohammad Arifandi with last student ID 0002. So, in this opportunity, I would like to share you about my review novel, that is with the rising the themes of EARTHSEA, cycle tales from EARTHSEA. Next. So yeah, that is me, Mohammad Arifandi, with the last student ID 0002. Thanks. Okay, for the character introduction, a healer and an adoptive mother with tarot. So the character, especially, he has a spiritually strong and empathic and grounded, and she represents the shift from the dogma to personal freedom. And then Tanner brings the spiritual and the mundane, the embodying healing and a compassion. So we have three. There is a Tyrian as a dragonfly. So in the role of it, that they have challenges the patriarchal system of Rock. Rock is a some island in this chapter. Rock by asserting her right to be a wizard despite being a woman and a part of dragon. So the character he have a brave, passionate, and complex. And Ariel symbolizes transformation and dual identity, both human and dragon. And she defies gender binaries and shows that true power comes from self-acceptance. Next. Yeah, for the fourth is Outtake or huge hug. And Hug is a small furry creature who gets familiar during his youth. And the Outtake represents the bond between humans and nature, as well as the trust built through and the patience and love. So the last one is Ezber. Ezber have a role like a master partner of the road, and they are responsible for maintaining harmony with the immanent growth and the source of the natural power. So we have a character that is meditative and spiritual, and like originally from the Kyrgyz land, and then there is Opus that the magic power. So Esper is exemplifies in inclusion and effort in the transformation, proving even those from anti-magic cultures, then the cultures can become guardians of the balance. Next. Okay, the last one, we have Albatros and Alter. Albatros is not a major character, but he is often used as a username in the EARTHSEA naming. So in the some tradition naming, Albatros is name of full of the people on that island. So the character with his name intend to be free-spirited and be a normal. Thanks. Yeah, we go on next to the place and time setting in here. So setting of the tales from EARTHSEA by URSULA GUIN is a rich and complex fictional world called EARTHSEA, and a vast archipelago on the hundreds of islands, large and small. Here is the overview of the key locations that are featured in the stories. And second one, we have EARTHSEA as the main world. That is, EARTHSEA is a magical archipelago, where sorcery is deeply woven into their everyday life and each island, and it has the distinct cultures, language, and belief system, and then creating deep social diversity. So the Rock Island, the center of the magical education, and here home to the school of the wizard. In the Finder, you learn about the origins of the school and how women were one central to its founding before, then being pushed and decided. Next. Bridging the way into the other mind and signaling a major shift in the magical auditory. Next, we have a temporary characteristic in the EARTHSEA. Maybe there is a lifetime in the EARTHSEA. There is a cyclical and the introspective rather than just chronological, and like GUIN used time to explore spiritual and social change in here, but not merely a chain of the events. Like in many tales from the EARTHSEA, film narrative gets left between the main novels and offering historical context and the deeper layer of the world. So the last one is a time also becomes a balance for challenging official narrative, and especially regarding who control history. The late GUIN critiques how women can learn around wizard, but were systematically erased from the recognized magical in the chronicles. So we have some orientation in here, like long before get raised his stuff in the rock before the true names were spoken with a reference in the halls of magic, the world of EARTHSEA within the shadows of the power, and we have like anyone gifted by magic and the hunter, not the celebrated, but the controller, and all of it in a dim corner of the coastal home. A boy named the author grew up with this whisper of the wind and wave. So in the sounds he understood more deeply than anything adult. He could summon the breeze, he could summon like a speak to fish and manage to this word, and other was seized and turned into the tool by a king who gathered magic for personal gain. Next, we can next to the next slide. Okay, we have some complication in here. Like in the world built from true names and wind that whispers secrets, EARTHSEA is not always calm, but denied the power of magic and the majesty of an unscientific of the world lie conflicts that touch the heart and shake the whole order. So the beneficiary of it, that story demands begin and here. From the distant north, that a boy named Arthur is forced to choose between submission to power the preserving to freedom of a knowledge. And then, in a Goldstone cave, magic becomes a tool of the tyrants, and only a secret circle called the Hand dares to save wisdom from the destruction. So from oppression, rock is born not from the gardener, but from a deficiencies. We have some complication in here. So in the quiet village, Diamond questions the fat-handed. In the dawn of to him, just the becoming a wizard means burying his love. But Dark Rose, a woman who knows songs is better than spells? No, but the love who hope is a collide on a plant servant with by parental expectation. So the indifferentiated earth in the old mage kneels by the cliff and joining with the bones beneath the land to save many people and many others from the terrible quake. The must relinquish part of himself as sacrifice not found in the spell's book. Next. Okay, we're gonna next to the resolution. So in here we have across the sacrable all of the island of the EARTHSEA. Winds and chains begin to steer and gently but unmistakably from the foggy harbor and the proud tower of the rock. And then chose the ancient magic and awaken and show of the suffering for the new order and can wisdom for the flourish. So the next one we have in a lovely town filled with music. There is dark rose and diamond speaks of the love and choices of her tradition, like a diamond and the two wizardry rejects the call of the road. And then for the music and love, showing that the true power and love in here, not always words and spelling about it. So it is like a name to encourage to follow what's of her in this moment. We go to next. Then in here we laundry with plans that very breakable because the author have some solution in this situation like that. Challenging patriarchy and creating some new space. And the last one, historical and language safe for identifying. For all of my rate in here we have 9.2% because I recommended this novel because if you like the novels with interesting adventure and imagination stories, I recommended this novel to all of you because this novel contains by positive algorithm values and the ambition to be practiced in every day on your life. Thank you for your attention. If there are any bad words or behavior that is not pleasing, I'm so apologize to you. Akhirul kalam. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirobbilalamin.